am going to discuss about Android tutorial. For reference, this tutorial is a brief overview some major concept. Android is much rich and more complex. Developer guide, developerguide.com, guideindex.com, and developerandroid.com, reference package.html. Phone tools. What are the tools used in the Android phones? Eclipse and Android plugins, Android SDK. Install everything except the additional SDK, standard development kit platform. Unless you want to do, Windows user may need to install the Motorola driver directly. So Android SDK, once installed, open the SDK manager, install the desired package, create an Android virtual device (AVD). Right, open the SDK manager, show the some list of the options and Android SDK and AVD manager, name of the versions, target, CPU API hidden, SDK, and you just choose the size and snapshot also enable, and skin, built-in type or resolution. You just assign the resolution. You have to set the hardware property, edit AVD and cancel. Two options is there. You want to newly add with any component, you choose the option new. Next, edit plugins. In Eclipse, go to help, install new software, click add, top of the right, enter the name, edit plugins, location. You have to specify the location, click OK, then select the developer tools, click next, then finish. Afterward, restart the Eclipse, specify the SDK and ADK plugins, Windows preference, and go some list of the preferences, SDK location specify, browse the location, select Android source project is displayed, and next go for new Android project, choose the project name and list out the some project, choose the version Android 2.2, right, and project component, src your source code, auto generation code, include the library, resources, drawable, layout, valuable, manifest files, and use define some of the resources, layouts, strings. Manifest files should not usually have to edit indirectly. Eclipse can do that for you. Preferred way to creating UI as auto generated. You should not edit it. Contain ID, project resources. Enforce the good software engineering. Use find view while the resource object to get access to the resources. And Eclipse has a great UI, user interface creator. Composed view of the object can be specified for portrait and the landscape mode. It's a sample Android layout as in Eclipse. Just design some buttons, options, you can use it. Package, click the create, make the layout modifier. In important mode, select the portrait or landscape. So like note the port and the LAN folder example, avoid the errors, and choose the landscaper, enable application wide available strings, promote the good software engineering. UI component made in the UI editor should have the text define the string .xml. So contain the characteristics about your application. When have more than one activity in app, need to specify it in manifest file. Go to the graphical view for the manifest file, add an activity in the button right, browse for the name of the activity. Need to specify service and other components too. Also important to the define the permission to external library. Manifest, you just add some component, browse and select it. Android programming concept, activity, service, content provider, broadcast receivers, Android nutshell. Activity, the basic Android application. Single activity defines a single viewable screen, can have multiple per application, each is a separate entity. They have the structured life cycle And next one, activity and create, on start and resume, right? So activity is running, so on pause means go to the again resume, to wait for the resume activities. And next, or otherwise another application needed to process is killed and navigated back to the code to the and create state, go to the and stop, go and destroy, finally stop. Run the background process can continue the even activity started the dice, should use something needed to be done while the users is not interact with the applications, can be bound to the application, in which cases will be terminated when all the application bounded to the unbind. Allow the multiple application to communicate with it via a common interfaces, need to be declared in the manifest file, like activities. Is the first one is a component calls start service, on create, on start the command, service is running, the service is stop, on destroy, service shutdown. Components calls bind service, on create, on bind, service is running, on client unbind by calling, unbinded, on destroy. So running the eclipse, similar launching the regular Java apps using the launching configuration, specify the Android application and create the new one, specify the activity to be run, can select the manual option, so each time the program is run you are asked to whether you want to use the actual phone or emulators. Run the eclipse, launch the default activities, manual, select the target, and USB debugging, enable the phone to use the developer features. Android debug the bridge, use wide variety of developer tasks the platform to directly main Android directories. Debugging, so instead of using the traditional system.out.println use the log classes, can be read the using the log at erase log, filter out the via tag. It's a screenshot, some need to root the phone of the not true option under screen capture. Maps, using the Google Maps your apps, set the user project Google API version, edit the manifest for the Google Map, read the Google API use. Maps, use the default locations, Google Map, Android 2.3.1, and Maps example, manifest, open the manifest file, add the map library tag, and indicate the app will be access the internet. End, the goal is to be add the following 2 lines XML file under the manifest and the application tags. Following GUI way to add the map, just add options as just arrow mark it, and example select the add under the this is library, then select the library, this is the prompt. Next, specified the and add option permissions, uses the permissions, maps example, name of this, and next one all Android need to be assigned. Map view element, map the application need to have API key association with them. And map example, map the API key, locate the keystone, use the key to map. API references need to put the map view tag example, acknowledgement, Android developer website, activity service lifecycle, tons of Android, Google, numerous forms, other development site included. That's all. We'll discuss next class.